Good morning and welcome everyone to the webinar of global e-learning platform Thinkcloudly. Today, we are going to learn the importance of Python and how you can actually attain a six-figure salary. Since Python is a high-level, versatile, widely used in various cross-industry programs, its importance is really efficient for all of us. So today, to share his insight, please welcome the guru himself, Mr. Naman Jain.
Hi, Zainab. How are you doing today?
I'm great, Naman. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. Good morning. I hope everyone can hear me loud and clear. Zainab, is my voice audible
It's
clearly?
crystal clear. It's crystal clear.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. I'm still seeing, Zainab, that there are other students joining.
Yes. There are a lot of people who's joining in. So definitely they're all excited for the Python program here.
Definitely. Uh, like I know that we are going to deep dive into Python today. We will understand a lot of important things, but it is very important to learn Python. Can anyone tell me like why Python is so important today? I mean, anyone who think that Python is important or it is not important, what do you think? Let me ask this question to all of you. Zainab, even you can answer this question if you have the answer.
Why Python is important? Because nowadays Python is a very versatile language which is
Yep.
actually used in many cross industry language. So definitely it's a program that you need to learn and need to master because obviously you want to go ahead with six figure. Definitely Python is the way.
Absolutely. I mean, nowadays, what is happening, irrespective of your career option, whether you are getting into artificial intelligence, software development, cybersecurity, DevOps, you see this Python everywhere. So there is certainly a big reason behind it, and we all will be learning bit about Python. I know that this 1 hour of session is not enough, right, Zainab? But
Definitely it's not.
yeah, but I can at least tell you how to learn Python. Okay, maybe how you can get started with it, right? So definitely
Definitely.
we will cover that up. Okay, so Python. Let me ask you this question once again. What is Python? According to you, what is Python? Let me ask this question. What is that? What? How will you answer Python in just 2 words? Or maybe one word? What is this Python? Coding language, yes. High level language, okay. Very IT, uh, term. High level language. What is coding? Okay, coding language, step processes, scripting language. Great. Okay, amazing. So now let's understand one thing. That imagine, imagine this is a computer. Okay, so this is your computer. Okay, now when I want to pass on some instructions to this computer, either I use this mouse, okay, or I use this keyboard. So whenever these are my input devices, am I right, everyone? These are my input devices. So when I want to pass on some instructions, it always goes through some input devices. It can be mouse, it can be your keyboard, right? But when I'm typing when I'm typing some instructions on my keyboard, how this keyboard is able to translate, understand this, translate this to a machine. Okay, this is something which all of us have to ponder about, right? That machine, a computer, can it really understand English language? This is a question for all of you. Can a machine understand the English language? No, it's not a human, it's not human. Not every human understand English language across the globe, right? So we cannot expect a machine to understand English language. Am I right, everyone? Now, if computer cannot understand English language, then what computer understands? Can anyone tell me? What computer understands? No, it does not understand the code. What 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 is that one thing what computer understands? Do you know what is that? Computer understands only 0 and 1. Okay. On an electronic device, computer can understand only 0 and 1. So now the problem is that when computer understands 0 and 1, okay, which is also known as machine language, okay, which is also known as machine language. Then if I am typing an instruction in the language English, okay, when I'm typing the English language, okay, let's say 4 plus 4, okay, if this is my English language, right, this is my numeric digits in English, right? So when I'm typing this, how the machine is able to respond with the answer 8? When machine cannot understand apart from anything apart from 0 and 1, how machine is able to respond with 0, with 8? Are you all able to get my point? My language as a human is English, okay? Machine understands 0 and 1, okay? Machine understands 0 and 1. But when I'm passing on the instruction 4 plus 4, it is returning me the answer 8. How is that possible? Can anyone tell me? There is something in the middle over here. And what is that? Can anyone guess? What is that which is actually helping this to basically pass on? This is called as high level language. Okay. There is something called as high level language. Okay. When I say high level language, it is, you can imagine the example of high level language is Python. Okay. So what you are doing, you are trying to basically write a high level language. Okay. Because for human, it is easy to understand or learn high level language. Now, this Python will basically, with the help of interpreter or compiler, will translate into 0 and 1 format. Okay. Remember that. So for me as a human, I have to master Python, and rest of the thing, passing on the instruction will automatically be taken care of. Okay. So for me, I need to know a coding language, which is also known as high level language. And the example of high level languages are Python, Java, C Sharp, C, C++, Fortran, COBOL. All these are the high level languages. Okay. But yes, Python is one of the example of high level language. So for me, learning Python is not a problem. For me, learning 0 and 1 language, is it really possible for human to master machine language? This is a question for everyone. Is it okay? Let me write this. Can you please read it for me? Can anyone please read this for me? You cannot read it, right? So imagine it is very difficult for me to learn this language, and this is what computer understands. So what is that nearest language I can learn so that, you know, I can pass on my instructions to the computer? And that is high level language. Okay. And what are the examples of high level language? Can somebody give me the examples of high level languages, what I just said? Are you, can you please give me some examples? Python, Java, what else? C Sharp, C, okay, Fortran, right? So many languages. So whichever computer language you see, right, anywhere in the world, that is actually known as high level language. So now the question is, for a human, is it easy to learn high level language or is it easy to learn machine language? For a human, which language is easier to learn? The machine language or the high level language? Exactly. High level language is important. And because we want to learn high level language, we have to choose one of that. One example is either you go with Python or you go with C or you go with C++. See, I know that you guys must be clear what I'm trying to say, but I'm trying to create a foundation so that you guys are clear on it. Okay. Now, imagine that when I'm writing the code in Python, but for some of us, right? Let me ask this question. But for some of us, do you think Python is easy to learn, or any high level language? Any high level language, is it easy to learn or not? Easy or not? See, the answer is no. Okay. You cannot learn Python in, let's say, 2 days. Okay. It's not that easy. Though Python is easiest language of all, if I tell you honestly, Python is easiest language of all. So if you compare Java, if you compare C, if you compare C++, right? If you compare, let's say, JavaScript, right? You will always find that Python is the most easiest language to learn, because that is how it has been created. It has been created in a very, very easy way, and that's why it is quite easy to learn. Okay. Now, always remember, it definitely takes time to learn Python or any language, but Python is easy. So it will take little less time than these languages, what I have listed down here. So, but Python is easiest language, but it takes time to learn Python. Okay. So for someone to start with, okay, let's say you guys want to start with Python, I'm sure it is going to be very difficult for you to to understand Python at first. I remember my own time when I started learning a language, you know, it was very scary for me. It was all black window. So how many of you are scared of that black window? Do we have anyone in the audience who is really scared of that black window? Uh, when you see that black window, you say, "Oh, this is not my cup of tea. I cannot do coding." Right? And that was the same uh same impression I had, that it's totally black window. I'm unable to do anything on that, right? But later, because I knew that this is my career, this is about my career, so I started with that. And easily I could able to learn, and today I could able to write my own applications. I can create my own applications with it, right? So Python, it takes time. Python takes time to learn, but it is the easiest language. Always remember. So anyone who wants to learn at least one programming language, I would highly recommend that do Python. Okay, learn Python. Now, so Python isn't about writing the code, it is about understanding the logic and problem solving. We can solve a great problems with Python. I'm going to talk about it more in detail about Python in just like 2 minutes. Okay. So Python isn't about only writing the code. It's about solving the problem. We Today we are solving the very big problems with the help of Python. And I'll tell you how even that is possible. Okay. Okay. So are you good till here, guys? Are you guys able to understand whatever I could able to tell you? Are you guys okay with that? Okay. Because slowly and steadily, I'm getting more technical. Okay. You know what? We guys are going to write our 4 Python programs in this session. Okay. Are you ready? Are you ready to write 4 Python programs with us? Definitely. I'll tell you how to write a small programming for all of you, so that next time when you look at Python, you will not be scared. Okay. Amazing. Just a moment. Let me see. Admins, can you go on mute, please? Okay. Yeah. Now, always remember that let me take this example. So let's say whenever I talk about an English sentence, right? uh, let's say there are 4 boys. Okay, so there are 4 boys. Is it an English sentence? And over here, do you see that we are following an structure over here? So we have, like, let's say, we have a structure. We are following this structure. Can I do this? Is it possible if I do this? Therefore, boys are. Is this the correct sentence? Is this the correct sentence? No. And this, is this the correct sentence? Which one is the correct one? The first one or the second one? The first one, right? This is the correct one, and this is the incorrect. This is not correct at all, right? So over here, we are following a structure, correct? We are following a structure. If we try to play with the structure, we try to jumble up the structure, what happened? Our sentence got wrong. Am I right, everyone? See, the words are right. Therefore, boys and are, all the words are right, isn't it? But when I try to mess up with the structure, what happened? The sentence did not sound appropriate, and you said that it is the wrong sentence. So we said this is the wrong sentence because the structure is not followed, right? It becomes meaningless. So if we are not following the structure, it becomes meaningless. Now, do you know, in the computer language, that is Python. So this is your English language. This is your Python language. In this, we call this as syntax. Okay, we don't call it as structure. We call it as syntax. Okay, just to give you one example, let's say if we are typing if, okay, and A equal to B, okay, and we are basically typing over here, let's say some statement, and I'm typing else over here. Now, over here, if you see this right, we are following a dedicated defined structure. So this is a defined structure. Even in Python, if you are able to follow this syntax properly, then only this program will execute, it will run. If you basically make, let's say, if you don't write else over here and you write else over here above if, then this program will fail. So most of the time, what actually happens, we do not master the syntax. We do not master the structure. And because of that, we are not able to code. So what exactly is very important for all of us? Can anyone tell me what is the most important thing for all of us? Can anyone tell me? The syntax of whenever we are writing the code, the most important thing is that we master the syntax. If we are able to master the syntax, I am telling you, you will be able to write the code. Okay. I'm going to talk about this in detail. I'm going to show you as well. So don't get confused. If it is getting little technical, don't worry. Just stay with me. Stay with me till the end. I promise you, you will be able to write your own code if you go and home and practice. So let me ask this question before I proceed further. Are you able to understand the importance of syntax? Is everyone able to understand the importance of syntax? I took this example to explain you that if you are not following the right structure, your program will not execute. It will fail. It will give you errors. And those errors can be very frustrating at times. Okay. But you have to stick with a defined pattern. You have to stick with defined syntax. Okay. You have to stick with defined structure. So I will be able to explain you more in detail. You will get more clarity over here that how the syntax actually works. I'm going to show you. Um, okay. Let me do one thing. Let me show you first. Okay. Let me show you first. Remy, just a moment. I'm going to share my VS code. Just a moment. I'm sharing my VS code. Okay. Let me know if you can see my VS code here. Everyone, can you see the VS code? Okay. This is my console. This is the half window where I run my code. Okay. This is where I run my code, and this is where I write my code. Okay. I am writing the Python over here on the top, and I will test it in the bottom. Is that clear, everyone? I'm trying to drill down for every one of you. Now, if I want to print hello message over here on this window, if I want to print a simple hello think loudly message over here, how can I do it? I can just type print. Just give me 1 second. Okay. So if I type print over here, right? And now here I'll type hello. Just a minute. Think loudly. Okay. So whenever I want to print a message, I have to type print, and then I have to write this way, and I'm gonna save it. So I'll go to file, and I'll click on save, and this is saved. This file is saved. Now, if I type here Python 3, this is the way I run this program, and here is the file name test.py, test.py. So what it is going to print for me? Can anyone tell me? What is it going to print for me? Can anyone tell me? It's going to print for me hello think loudly, right? So it printed me hello think loudly. So what I am doing, I'm writing a Python code. Python code is going back to the machine. Machine is able to understand it, and it is printing hello think loudly for me. Okay. Now over here, why I was telling you about the syntax and the structure. I have to stick with the structure. Let's say if I remove this, okay, there is a bracket, and if I remove this close parenthesis, and if I remove this, and now if I save this, okay, let me save this. Now I have saved this file, and now if I run this again, do you see that it is giving me an error? This is what I was trying to tell you, that we always have to stick with the structure what Python has defined, or what any language has defined. If we stick to the structure, then there is no problem at all. Does that make sense, everyone? Are you able to understand what I'm trying to say? Right? So syntax is really matters. This syntax will become little complex as we move forward, but we don't have to get worried about it. As soon as we move forward, we will see it. Okay. So what Python 3 is? Python 3 is the programming name. It is basically reading this file and giving me the result. Okay. Python 3 is the interpreter, which is reading this test.py file and giving me the results. Okay. Are you guys okay till here? I know this is little technical, but are you able to follow me, everyone? I need everyone to say yes, no, because this is how I will gain confidence that I am going in right direction. Okay, because this is technical, so definitely, and I have to take all of you together. Correct? Now, now I'll come back to the coding again. I want to discuss one important thing with all of you. Okay. So let's say, can you give me any application what you use in your daily basis? Any website or any application what you use in your regular basis? Instagram, okay. Anything else? What do you use for WhatsApp? Okay, Google, Facebook. Okay. So which application do you use for booking your tickets? Let me ask this question. Which application do you use to book your tickets, like flight tickets? Expedia? Okay. Let's take an example of Expedia. Okay. So if let's say if I want to, this is me. Okay. I want to book the ticket. Okay. So what should I do? How do I access Expedia? I'll go to expedia.com. Isn't it, everyone? I'll go to expedia.com. And when I go to expedia.com, I'll be able to select my flights. Okay. I'll be able to select my flight, correct? When I select my flight, okay, and I make the payment, let's say I have selected my flight and I have made the payment. Can you tell me what happens? Can you tell me what happens? My tickets gets booked. My ticket gets booked, isn't it? If my payment went successfully, my ticket gets booked. But you know what is happening over here? Let's look at it from an angle of a software engineer. Basically, this is your front end. Okay. This is your front end. Okay. So what front end is doing? Expedia has two things. Expedia in the back end has two things, front end and the back end. Okay. So now on this front end, there was one text box. Okay. You could able to select the flight. You were seeing some images, some photos of the flight or logos of the airlines, right? So that is your front end. So this is the application which is front end. But always remember, whenever you click on the submit payment button, it goes to the backend. So Expedia also has an application which is the backend application. All the processing happens in the backend. Always remember, all the processing happens in the backend. This front end just collect the user inputs and pass these inputs to the backend system where the reservations are actually made. Okay. So any application, you can imagine Uber. On your application, when you are trying to book the cab, there is a backend application where the reservations are made, right? So for any application, there is always a front-end application and the back-end application, whichever application you are using. Let's say you are using Google. On your Google, when you are typing your search query, in the backend, it is searching for the result and showing you on the front end, right? So always remember, to any application in the whole world, there are two ends. One is the front end, which is the user facing window. And then there is a back end, which is the processing application, which process the data, whether it stores the data in database or cloud, or it basically, make the reservations or process data and give it back. Okay. So okay, are you able to understand here? Every application has two ends, front end and the back end. Front end means what we see in front of us. Okay. The pictures, images, buttons, text boxes, that is front end. Okay. But when you click, as soon as you click on submit button, what happens? The request goes to the backend server. Does that make sense, everyone? Do you want to see that? Do you want to see that as well? Can we see it together, that how it happens? Okay, let me show you. Let me show you. And I'll tell you why I'm bringing this up in the discussion of Python. This is very important for all of you. Let me show you that as well. Just a moment. Let me open the window for you so that I can show you. Just a moment. How many of you can see my screen? Just a moment. The Google Chrome. Can anyone see the Google Chrome, please? Okay. Are you able to see the Google Chrome? Okay. Now over here, see, when I start typing, let's say I want to search about Ronaldo. Okay. When I'm searching about Ronaldo, see what Google is doing. This is front end for me. I'm using the front end application of Google. Okay. But what this Google front end application is doing, see here. Okay. See what it is doing. It is, you see the search query. Let me expand this for you. See, it is sending this data to the backend server, which is processing it and in the response, it is giving all these, all of these, suggestions over here. Can you see it? I can show you. See, Ronaldo net worth. Okay, so see, it is here. Okay, then let's move forward. You see this? Ronaldo age. Okay, so you see this here. So whatever I type, let's say if I type age here, okay, see, I'm getting some more responses. Now the responses are the new responses I'm getting over here. See over here, we are getting Ronaldo age. Okay, then we are getting some other responses over here, right? So whenever I type something, what Google is doing, Google front-end application, which is available to me as a user, it is sending the data or the request to the backend server. And what it is bringing for me, it is bringing a response back to me. Okay. And see, this is how it is, like, front-end is able to handle the response. So are you guys able to understand the front-end and the backend now? Okay. Are you guys clear till here? So front end and back end both are important, right? Front end is something what you see, but before you click on submit button or before you see some responses coming back, right? Whether it is your cab booking using Uber, whether you are searching, let's say you are searching a profile of your friend on Facebook. So when you type the friend's name, it goes back to the back end and comes back, right? So always remember, how many parts are there for every application? Can everyone please tell me? How many parts are there for every application? Front end and the back end. Correct? Okay. Now the reason why I wanted to tell you is because Python is more popular on the backend one. Okay. The reason why I wanted to bring this to all of you, because Python is more popular, uh, you know, like in every application, whether it's Instagram, Uber, Spotify, any application you are using, they are using Python in the backend, maybe for doing some backend operations. So Python is helping into processing. Okay. And that is why you see Python always in a black window, because Python does not have any front end. You can do front end activities also with Python. Okay, let me repeat this. You can certainly do front end app, front end activities also with Python. But organizations, they prefer Python for backend activities, backend processing. And that is why Python, you mostly see Python as scripts or black window. Okay. Though Python is being used everywhere, but it is always behind the scenes. Okay. That is why you see that you are basically, you're not creating any buttons in Python. You are not creating any text boxes. You are basically dealing only with code and the black window. Does that make sense, everyone? Are you able to understand what I'm trying to say? Can everyone please confirm that are you good till here? Because I'm trying to share that backend Python is more preferred for backend programming, okay, for backend work. Whereas other technologies like React, Angular, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, all these languages are used for front end. Okay. So whenever you see any front end, whenever you see any application, right? Expedia.com, booking.com, right? Whenever you see those applications, the front end are not written in Python, but all the backend activities are done by Python. And that's why Python is important, because it is actually running in the backend. Does that make sense, everyone, now? So now ChatGPT. So can if we take an example of ChatGPT. Now on ChatGPT, there is a text box where you write your prompts, right? When you hit enter button, when you hit enter or send, what happens? This front end sends the data to the request to the backend, and backend processes it. Okay, backend processes it and send the response back to the front end. Now this front end is not written by Python. Frontend is not written by Python, but this complete backend is written by Python. Okay. So Python is more preferred in the backend work, backend processing. And trust me, backend processing is much, much bigger than what you actually see in real. So for you, maybe you're just pressing the enter. Okay. For you, you're just pressing the enter over here. But there's hell lot of processing going on in the backend. And who is doing that? That is done by Python. Okay. So let's say if you want to store some data into database, front end cannot store data to database directly. So let's say this is your database, right? Front end cannot store data directly. This is your front end, this is your back end, and this is your database. Front end cannot store data directly to database. So what front end does? Front end gives this data to backend. Backend Python goes and store this data with the help of SQL in database. Okay. So backend is important. Backend is much bigger than front end. And who is responsible to do backend? Can everyone please tell me who is more responsible to do backend? Which language do we use, or which language is preferred for backend? That is Python. Okay. Always remember. So that's one. Now, imagine you are using Python for backend programming. Okay. Backend processing. Okay. You know what? We use Python for different things. We use for prediction as well. Okay. The AI prediction, the artificial intelligence, we use Python because Python has capability of doing that. With Python, you can, talk to different applications. Let's say two applications wants to communicate with each other. That is called as API, application programming interface. You can create application programming interface where two different applications, let's say Amazon and PayPal, wants to talk together. So Python is the one which is helping in this handshaking. Okay. Python is sending the request to PayPal, getting the response and displaying on Amazon. So this is called as API communication, application programming interface. Okay. That is also done by Python. So Python has got different use cases. With Python, you can also do DevOps pipeline. I'm not sure how many of you are the students with DevOps, but you can also do DevOps pipeline with the help of Python. So all these things you can achieve with the help of Python. Okay. Backend processing, backend, what I just explained, the front end and the backend, that's just one use case. But you can do prediction, the artificial intelligence prediction. You can do API, you can do DevOps pipeline. Everything can be done by Python. So now, do you think that Python is important? This is the question I want to ask to all of you now after this explanation. Do you think that Python is important for us? Right? And the best part about Python is, again, I want to repeat this. It's the easiest language to learn. Can you imagine if you're able to spare out your 2 months of time, right? If you're able to spare out your 2 months of time, you will be able to master Python. So Python is not difficult. You just have to give time to it. That's all. Okay. So now let me take you to some programming. This is a time that we do some coding. Are you ready, everyone? Can we do some coding now? I have planned your 3 to 4 more programs for all of you. Let's do this. Okay. Now we will do this again. We will do this. The first exercise we are going to do is we have to print. Okay. We have to print a message. Okay. We have to print a message that, you know, what can anyone tell me what should I learn? What should I type here? Uh, okay. I am a student. Okay. At Thinkcloudly. Okay, let me just write some name like this is statement. Okay, let's just go and write the statement over here. Someone wants to write Happy Valentine's. Wow. Okay, just let me just go back and share the screen again. The my console window. Just a moment. I'm opening the console window over here. Okay, let me remove everything. Let me clear from here as well. Okay. So here is the place where I am going to type my code. And here is the place I am going to see my result. Okay. So what should I write? Can anyone tell me? What should I write? Okay. I should be writing print all in small. Okay. Please follow the syntax all in small print. Okay. Open the brackets and close the bracket. Okay. And in the brackets, open the double quotation marks, and in the double quotation you have to write your message. Okay, I am a student of Think Cloudly. Okay, is this correct, everyone? Can we go ahead with this message, please? Now you can press Control plus S to save this file. Remember one thing, saving this file is very important. Okay, saving this file is very important. I'll show you. Let's say if I type here to run this program again, I'll type Python 3. Okay. And I'm going to type the file name. What is the file name over here? Can anyone tell me what is the file name? Test.py. Py is Python, test.py. So if I type test.py here, okay. So I'm going to see my message here. I am a student of Thinkcloudly. Okay. So can I try to change this? Let's say can I try running it now? Can I just apart from that, if I just type show, will this run or not? Can anyone tell me if this will run or not? Will this run or not? No, right? Okay, let me show you why. So I'm going to save this file and I'm going to type run it again. See, what does it say? It says that name show is not defined because we are not using the defined syntax, and that's why it failed. So if you have in Python, print is to display. So you always have to use print. Okay, if you want to display a message. Is that okay, everyone? So now if I run this again, it will show me. See here, it is able to show. Okay. Now, now let's move to the second exercise. Are you ready, everyone, for the second exercise? I'll tell you one interesting thing now. Some of you must be aware of it as well, but let me tell you. You know what happens, right? Sometimes there is a need of saving some data temporarily. Okay, so we have to save the data temporarily. Okay, uh, so how can I save my data temporarily? That is with the help of variables. Okay, you can always remember variables are nothing but, you can say that it's a container. Okay, you can say where you can keep some data for temporary period of time. Okay, so are you able to follow me, everyone? What do we use to store data temporarily? What do we use? We use variables. Okay, see, whenever we write a big program, right? Whenever we write lot of program, a big program, at times we have to store some data temporarily somewhere, and we store the data in the variable. I'll show you why, and I'll show you how we do that. Okay, do you want to see that, guys? How do we store data temporarily while writing the code, and how do we use it? It's getting a little technical, but don't worry. You will understand when you get your hands dirty, right? You will understand, but I'll try my best as well to explain you. So we want to store data temporarily with the help of what? Variables. Okay. See, database and SQL is the permanent way of storing data. I'm talking about temporary way of storing data when you are writing the code. Okay, let me show you one moment, everyone. Okay. So over here, I have just changed the file. You can keep the same file as well, but just to distinguish so that you guys don't have any confusion, I'm keeping a fresh file as variable. See over here, whenever I want to create a variable, right? Let's say I want, okay, do this. Um, if I want to store, I want to print a message, I can type print and hello, think loudly. Is this correct, everyone? Can anyone please verify for me? Is this correct? Okay. Now, what I want to do is I want to print this message 5 times. Okay. I'm printing this message 5 times. Okay. Will this work or not? It should work because the syntax is all correct. So if I run here Python 3 and variables.py, see how many times it is printing for me? It is printing for me 5 times. But now my manager says that Naman, you have to print, instead of hello, you have to print by think loudly, not the hello think loudly. My manager is saying that Naman, you have to print by think loudly, not the hello think loudly. So what will I have to do? I will have to change everywhere, right? I will have to change everywhere. Or I can do a smart option. I can just create a variable with any name, message, any name. You can type any name. It can be A, B, C, D. It can be any name. Okay. You can type anything. I'll type message here and colon, sorry, equal to, and this message. Now what I'm doing, I'm storing this message temporarily in this variable called message. This is the name of the variable. Now, instead of putting the message, typing the message everywhere, I can just put the variable here. And if I save this file and I try to run this again, do you see this? So whatever value I kept here temporarily in this variable, and I'm just using this variable everywhere, it is working for me. So if I change it back to hello, it will change everywhere and it will print again. See. So are you able to get the importance of variable, everyone? Are you understanding? Can you please confirm? Now, if I remove here and I want to print, let's say 56, a number 56. I want to store 56 data temporarily in the variable called message. Okay. I can just save this file and run it again. Do you see this? So what I'm doing here, I am basically creating a variable, a temporary location where I'm storing a data. It can be anything. I can type over here, let's say I can type over here, let's say Emmanuel. Okay. Or let me type some student's name. Let's say King, Michael, right? Now all these names will be printed every time over here. You see here. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to store a temporary data in the variable called message. Okay. Now the question to all of you, can I change this variable name? Can I change this variable name to anything else? Can I change this variable name to anything else? Yes. I can say anything. I can say, let's say var1, because this is just a temporary name. Okay. And I can just replace it with everywhere. And if let's say if I change this variable to some other variable, let's say if I type here message again, you see this, it is failing. Can anyone tell me why it is failing? Why this line is failing? Can anyone tell me why it is failing? Because the message variable is not defined. I have not put anything over here in the message. Message is empty. So let's say if I define here message, and I save it. Now this time it will not fail. See. So for variable, it is picking up the value from here. For message, it is picking up the value from here. Does that make sense now? Are you able to understand till here? Will you be able to write your own small code, at least the print statement and the variables, right? Now, moving ahead, there is something which is very important, and that is called as conditions. Okay. Now, when I say condition, okay, conditions, right? There are times that you have to take some decisions, right? In your code. So let's say, sometimes have you seen that if you are, if you're trying to book a ticket and it is costing you $100, and if you apply a coupon, right? If you apply a coupon of 50% off, does it bring down to $50 or not? Does it bring down to $50 or not if you apply this coupon? You know what is happening in the backend? It is checking the program, the Python is checking if the value of coupon is equal to 50%, okay, then deduct 50% from the total, and then print this message. Okay, let's see this. Let's see it ourselves how this actually works. Do you want to see that? How can we write this code? Can we write this code, a condition code together? Okay, let's write this code. Is everyone clear? Let me ask this first of all. I'm so sorry. I think I have to take everyone along with me. So is everyone okay? Can everyone please confirm? Akimba, Andy, Einmat, guys, can you please confirm? Are you clear with the problem statement? We are going to write a code where we are going to deduct the 50% on checking the statement whether the coupon is applied or not. Okay. So we are going to write a small Python code to see if this is going to work or not, if the coupon is applied or not. Let's see this. Okay. So over here, what was the ticket price? Can anyone tell me what was the ticket price we have kept? So I'll take a ticket price. I'll create a variable and I'll type I'll do 100. Okay. This was the ticket price. Now I want to say that apply coupon. Okay. Apply coupon 50%. Say, let's say yes. Okay. So coupon is applied. Now what will happen? I can type the condition over here. If apply coupon is equal to yes. Okay. So if apply coupon is equal to yes, just a moment. Yeah. Okay. Then print, then print ticket price, then print one moment, then print 50. Okay. Else print one moment 100. Okay. So I'm writing a small code over here where I'm saying that ticket price is 100. And if I'm applying a coupon of 50% yes, then the condition is checking that if this variable is yes, then the price is 50, else the price is 100. Okay. So let me save this now and I try to run this. Let's see what happens. Okay, so it's giving me an error. Just a moment. Let me see. One moment. I think. Okay, this is a syntax error. What we have to find out now. Okay. Do you see that it worked? Yeah. If I say no here, okay, and I save this file, because the apply coupon 50 is no, then the price would be printed as 100. Are you able to understand, everyone? This is how the condition works. So whenever you apply a coupon, right? Next time, whenever you apply a coupon and the price gets reduced, right? It is because it is basically, it is the condition which is checking. And why we are keeping double here? Why are we keeping double here? Because single operator means that you are trying to store data in this, but double means that you are trying to compare this. Okay, so we have to stick with this syntax. We have to stick with this syntax. So ticket price is 100. If we are applying 50% off, no or yes, then this if is checking the condition if it is yes or no. If it is yes, then the price is 50. If it is no, then the price is 100. Got it, everyone? Are you able to understand? I know it is little technical, but I'm trying my best that I can explain every one of you that how the conditions actually work. Okay. So whenever you try any filters, right? You put some filters, then also conditions are working. Okay. When you are basically applying the coupons, conditions are working. So this is the backend code what a Python programmer is writing in the backend. Okay, you can learn more. I mean, this is something what I'm just giving you as an introduction, but it is much more than that. Okay, but you can learn this. It is quite easy to learn. Okay, I'm trying my best, everyone. Am I doing my efforts? Like, do you see my efforts, what I'm trying to do? Because I know in 1 hour it's quite difficult to explain things, you know? Yes. Okay. See, the Python is the number one skill, for tech careers. It is being used by everyone. Google, Microsoft, AWS, NASA, Tesla, everyone is using Python. But always remember, can where are we using Python? In the backend or the front end? Where is the Python more preferred? Can everyone please confirm me? Where is the Python more preferred? In the backend. Okay. Front end, we'd use some other technology, but Python is always backend. And which is more important? Front end is more important or backend is more important? Backend, right? Backend is more important because all the operations are performed by the backend. Front end is just like button and you click over here, you click over there, you enter the data. But backend is the reason which is connected to many things, which is processing many things, right? And Python is involved in the backend. So you can imagine, have you ever seen any iceberg? Have you ever seen any iceberg? Iceberg, right? In the picture, probably in the photo, right? So we always it is always said that maybe we see this iceberg from the top till this much, but in the down below, right, it is really really big, isn't it? So under the water, the iceberg size is very big, and that's how it is. Tip of the iceberg is always looks like it's big, but the under the water iceberg size is much bigger than the tip of the iceberg, right? So this is how the applications are. This is the front end, and this is the back end, and Python is this. I'm just trying to explain you the importance of Python here. Okay. That is why everyone, whether it is Google, Tesla, AWS, everyone is using the one second. Yeah, the Python. 90% of AI ML or cloud job listing require Python. You can also search online. Python is everywhere. Okay, whether it's anything, you will see Python, that it is always recommended that person should know Python. Okay, and then Python developers earn on an average $130,000. Definitely, this is a skill to have. Even in the world of ChatGPT, it is very important that you know Python. Okay, it's very very important. Um, Apart from that, okay, one second. So over here, we have cloud computing. Python is transforming tech careers like cloud computing, cybersecurity, DevOps, and even project management, because there are so many project process automations which has been done by project managers these days. Python is essential for AWS, Azure, PMP, automating cloud deployments, infrastructure as code, serverless computing, data-driven decisions. in case of business intelligence or data analysis, process automation, API integration. So you can imagine that Python is very much important. Cloud engineers with Python makes almost 120,000. Data scientists are making 140,000. DevOps engineers are making $130,000. This is actually the figures what Python developers actually make, you know.
Thank you for watching. Switch from non-IT to IT today. Explore www.thinkcloudly.com.